Hey guys, welcome to Prop of Tech. I am AJ. So, are you ready to create a Java application and deploy it? I hope you are. So, in this series of videos, in this playlist, we're gonna create a calculator and we'll be using Swing and AWT packages of Java to create the GUI, the graphical user interface of the application, which is calculator. So, wondering why Java to create an application? So, let me tell you two main reasons of it. One will be the rich set of libraries. As you heard already, Swing and AWT are two main packages for creating GUI. And the second main reason is that it is scalable. That means Java can handle the increasing workload without compromising the performance and stability. So these two main reasons are enough to create applications in Java. So it could be for Windows, Linux, or for Android, etc. So let's begin. As usual, open your VS Code. I'll be using VS Code and I'll be creating a new project. So Java creator. If you're wondering what I'm doing, this is the way of creating Java project in VS Code. And if you don't know the way, or if you want to know how we can install Java and stuffs, please, I will drop the video in the description, video link in the description. You can watch this out how to install the Java in an easy way, in very easy way. So let's create a Java project. I'll go to documents and I will create a new one and I will name it calculator. Calculate. All right, there you go. In the SRC, we have this. So let's begin. Remove this code. So as I already said, we have to use, I'll zoom it a bit. Yeah, I hope you can, it's visible very clearly. So yeah, so as I said, we'll be using two main packages. That is import, one will be the swing dot, I'm importing everything, and one will be the, I'm sorry, import java.awt, and I'm importing all of them. So there you go, these two main packages. And yeah, and let's move on. So now we'll be using our Windows calculator as reference. So calculator, yeah, there you go. So here you can see this is application, inbuilt application of Windows. So you can see this is a frame, and this is a text input box where you have to input stuffs. Yeah, and these are buttons. So we're gonna take this as reference and create our own application, our own calculator. So let's begin with the title bar first. You can see across maximize button, minimize button, a title and a icon. All right, so yeah, get back to our program. So now what we're gonna do is let's create the frame. You can see this is a frame, so let's create a frame. As I said, frame, we can use just J capital F frame, and we're gonna give a name for it, and which will be window. In my case it is window. So a J frame window is equals to new J frame. Okay, so this will create a frame, and let me run it. F5. So it's loading, it's running, and yeah, there you go, it's completed. So yeah, but we do not see any frame or anything open, right? So why is that? Because we have to make it visible. So we have to use this window dot set visible as true. Okay, yeah, and now let's rerun it. So there you can see we have this here, we have this default cross, maximize and minimize button. You can see, and this icon. So let me increase the width and height. So as I said, we have to increase width and height. So we'll tell the window dot set size yeah, will be, let me keep 500 comma 500. So that means the width will be 500 and the height will be 500, and let's close it. Okay, let's rerun it. I will close it and I will rerun it. Let's see, yeah. There you can see the width is 500 and the height is 500. Okay, all right. Okay, let's compare. Okay, this one and this one. Okay, quite a big size, but no worries. Yeah. So you can see we got all this and icon. We'll change the icon later. So let's, okay, we are missing the title, which is the main part of an application. So let's do it. So how we can title it is go inside this window, this variable, I mean the JFrame class, and you have to input the title directly, calculator, calculator. All right, let's rerun it F and F5. So you can see here we got the title. All right. Okay. So next step. So the app bar is completed. As I said, the top app bar is completed, title and those things. Now let's move on to the input part. So we have to take input from the user, and so we need something like this, which is a text input, text type. So for that, what we should do is, okay, remember to keep this at the last. Okay, remember this to keep at the last. So I'll give some spaces for it. All right. So yeah. All right. So let's create a text field to take the user's input. So for that, we have to use J text field, as you can see, and we have to give a variable. Let's say user input. User input is equals to a new text. I mean a J text field. All right, all right. So we got the text field. Mm, mhm, mhm. And yeah, don't forget to add it. We created the text field. Now we have to add that in our frame. So you have to use window dot add user input. Can you understand? We created text field, which is of variable user input. We created text field, and now we want to add that in our window. So we'll be using window dot add user input. So let's run it and let's see how it's gonna be. Oh yeah, I have to close it. I'm sorry. So yeah, there you go. You can see we got something like this, but it is occupying the whole space. You can see it is occupying the whole space. So let's do something about it. Before that, as you can see, as I'm closing, but the program is not closing. I mean, I'm closing the window, I'm closing the frame, but it's not closing the program. I have to do it manually. For that, we have to use window dot set default close operation is equals to jframe dot exit on close. Yeah, if you can by this thing, every time the user or I click on the cross button, it will just close directly. It will not run anything else in the background. So there you go, it's closed. Yeah, it's all fine. So yeah, we use yeah, let's get back to our stuff. So which is text field. So we put the text field and it is occupying the whole space. We don't want, we want some space of it. So we're gonna, as I said, we have to set some size. So we'll be using that variable and I will set the size. Simple as that. Okay, I will set the size as okay. The main width and height of the application is 500. I will give something like width will be 100. No, no, no. Um, Let's see. 80. Width will be 80 and height will be 80. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I will include, okay, the size is set. Before we run it, we will use the size of the input, okay, the font. So user.input will be using set font, and the new font will be using Arial with height of 25. Um, sorry. So yeah. The second argument is font dot plain. What type of font you want? A bold one or italic, something like that. All right, and here comes the size. As you can see, the extension is letting me know what is it. So there you go, font dot plain size, everything is fine, and let's run it. Okay, the font size is increased. All right, but it's still occupying the whole space. So for that, we should use hmm, we have to make it like user input border layout. Border layout out. I want to keep it in the top, which is not NORTH, capital not. All right. I guess this works. I'll keep it as center, better than anything. All right. So let's run it. Right. Still not doing that. Set size. Yeah, guys, that was a mistake. Here you go. You have to put this not in the center, because when you put it in the center, it is occupying the whole space. So we'll do it as not. That means the top of the application, the top of the frame. So let's run it and let's see what we got. So there you go. A little one we got here. I'll make it a big. 80 को हटाकर हम रखेंगे 120. ऑलराइट, अभी चला के देखते हैं एंड लेट्स सी व्हाट वी गॉट हियर. a bit a better one. See, we got stuff like this. Okay, then on to the next component, next GUI component, which is a button. So yeah, we got the text field. Now we'll go to buttons. Okay, let's see the reference once more. So the input is the text field is completed. Now let's move on to the buttons. So how to create a button using Swing and AWT? We gonna use the button itself, J button, and I'll name it BTN is equals to a new button, a new J button, and the name of the button should be mm, button one. All right. Yeah. So and the button size dot set size will be, let's say, a 50 50. All right, width and height, and let's add it to our frame. Don't forget to add it. Add the component which is button, and we'll make it to the bottom, south. Yeah, now let's run and let's see if our button is exist or not. Yeah, you can see here a small button here, tuck 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 tuck, and an input field. Now, but I want some multiple buttons, and in a row, in a column. So let's do some row and column. So button, yeah, we'll keep the button as for now. Yeah. So for dividing the frame into rows and columns, we need to use grid layout. You know about the grids, right? The boxes and the grids. So before doing that, we'll create a container with a container which will be having the rows and columns. To create that container, we'll be using a panel which is called J panel, which creates a empty space or like a container. So I'll name it panel is equals to a new J panel. So yeah, and inside it, so the panel. Now the panel should consist of a grid. So we have to use grid layout. All right, everything's fine. Now, so the grid layout. So the grid layout should consist of how many rows you should want and how many columns you should want. So we have to mention. Uh, so let's see. 1, 2, 3 in the top, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So nine numbers, and so I need three columns and three rows. I'll do that. I'll use three rows and three columns. So there you can see rows are three and columns are three. All right, and that container should have size, otherwise it will, constraint error. Set size. I mean set size which should be 100. All right, for now. All right, so yeah, so this two lines, okay, a grid layout which will cut the panel into three rows and three columns. And now I want to put buttons in those panel. You got me? I will keep buttons in each and every row and column, each and every row and column. For that, that means while I'm saying you can get it in your mind. That means we have to add buttons to the panel. Add to so we'll be creating some buttons and we'll be adding to the panel. Panel dot add button. It's simple as that. So for the buttons, I will create a label array of labels. So string and button labels is equals to I'll give one the numbers. Give me a minute. Give me a few minutes. And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. All right. There you go. So I'll using a for loop for string label. That means for each labels. Okay, this is it not button labels? Okay, my bad. Labels have to. All right. So yeah, now let's create some buttons. So I will create, as you can see, this is common, okay? So I'll use the same, but I'll change the name of the buttons. All right. So I will copy this. So and I want the labels as the label. Yeah. All right. And now panel for each button creation, I have to add it. Okay. I have to add and. Add what? Add the button which is created here. Add the button which is created here and close it. All right, every button is now added into the panel. Here, I'm not gonna, in the frame, I'm not gonna add the button. I'm gonna add the panel which consists the button. So I will use this. All right, and I'll keep this as center. This will be in the top and this will be everywhere in the center. All right, So far it's good, and let's run it. Let's see what we got. There you go. So we got a text input, and we got buttons here. Ta-da! 4, 5, 6. Let's add some more. One more row and one more row, and we will add a 0 point and also is equals to, which is really important. Let's run it. I hope you are getting this, and I hope it's very simple. So maintain some patience. 5, 6, and you go, and these are the button. Patak, tatak, tatak. So now this is the basic GUI with buttons and text field. So after this, so the next part of the video will be like taking the input, whatever the input the user is giving. We have to store it in a variable. We have to evaluate and show them the answer, and if there's something wrong, we'll be giving them error. And each of this button should have on click or something like when the user clicks on it, what should he do and what should is equals to do. In the next part of video, we'll be adding the functionality and so on until we deploy this into a computer executable code, which is exe file. So I hope you will keep up till then, until the playlist completes. And if you have any queries, or if you have any questions, or if you have any suggestions, I'm open, and just comment down below. And you can check out my GitHub, LinkedIn. You can connect with me. So yeah, I will meet you in the next part of the video. Um, and yeah, if there is any confusion, I would like you to go back to the video, go a few seconds back, and make it clear. Cause I put it in a very simple language, in a simple way, so you could understand. All right. So thank you very much. So the part one completes, and we'll meet in the next part of the video. Thank you so much. Signing off, AJ.